really does.
I've seen much suffering, much evil and unkindness in the world out there. But it was exciting. It was alive. Here in the Elf Burrow, everything is so ordered, so perfect, so dull. One day's just like the next, and they just pass by endlessly. One can almost see the edge of the wood through the telescope, but I just can't leave the Elf Burrow. Mother would never forgive me, and there are so many dangers lurking out there.
Oops, it's not what I wanted.
We have many exotic plants here in the palace, but sunflowers are my favourite.
Sunflower seeds.
Apologies, I need a few of your seeds.
And let's actually look at the inventory, yeah. Picture of Prince Lalilos.
Since Nate left without saying so much as a word, Mother seized the opportunity to marry me off to a proper elf prince. So far I've managed to frighten off every candidate successfully, but she's starting to lose her patience. Since Nate left without... So far
Okay.
a friendly gift from nature, taken without permission.
Well, how is it supposed to... I actually kind of like that the inventory just stays open. I actually kind of do and don't like it. But I do actually think like going from cutscenes, like this, these two buttons stay. And I think it's really immersive. Nothing is fading out and
It may
in.
not be befitting of a princess, but this isn't the first time that I've climbed into the garden via the balcony, and it won't be the last. I'm just doing my morning exercises. I wasn't going to.
Cheap Cheap is good guard dog, apparently.
Of course I could just ignore him and climb down into the garden anyway. He would, however, make a beeline to Mother and tell on me, and who knows what the two of them would cook up for me next.
Okay, so we can't do that. Double clicking makes it transition faster. That's pretty cool. Do we trap Cheap Cheap in the musical box? No, we don't. Put him into a bowl. What do we do with the bowl then? Oh, it did it.
Cheap Cheap, would it be possible for you to stop admiring yourself for 2 seconds and move over to stuffing your beak instead?
Okay, so we can get to...
Don't say I never look after you.
Cheap Cheap is also kind of rotund.
Pearls, precious stones, sparkling earrings and necklaces. All the stuff I have to wear at official functions. If it were up to Mother, I would have trunkfuls of this stuff, and a wing of the castle would be my wardrobe. She just can't understand why Pa and I aren't into this sort of thing.
There's nothing in there.
The box, as well as its hinges and lock, has been fashioned from one piece of tree root. A masterful piece of workmanship, just like everything else here in the Elf Burrow. Pearls, precious... Goodness knows what I could use this tap for right now.
Okay, so take a mirror. Uh-oh. Cheap Cheap's just like, what the fuck? Okay, so... You can still look at the door.
Mother's locked me in, as if I was 200 again. Since I secretly escaped from the Elf Burrow last year, she's taken to guarding me closer than ever before. The door's locked and can only be opened from the other side. I'll have to find another way down to the library. Hopefully I'll find a book on medicine in the library. Only how am I going to get down there? The door's locked and can only be opened from the other side.
It's still
I'll have to find another way down.
kind of funny how some items you can still keep looking at, even though they don't seemingly serve a purpose. At least anymore. So we still have the flower, the jug.
A
And we have a mirror.
It's my mirror, really, but Cheep Cheep would probably miss it much more than me.
What can we do with this? It's also funny how it's lean the mirror up against the figure. So Cheep Cheep would be looking this way. So we can go out that way.
Hey, withdrawal symptoms?
Makes sense. So now he should hopefully not be paying attention to out here.
Okay, he's not looking this way.
Yeah, he's not. Let's do it. Oh, fuck my life.
There is more than one kind of stretch exercise, you know. Perhaps you'd like to train with me.
Jeez, Cheep Cheep. Stop it.
No chance. I can't sneak down as long as Cheep Cheep's on guard.
Now we have to use the musical box and he'll get stuck in it or something?
I just need the music box a minute. You don't need to turn your head away from your beautiful reflection for 1 second. Come on.
Yeah, and then he'll just sit down and snap.
Shh. He's gone to sleep. It got dark and he's simply... No matter. I can now enjoy a few moments of peace.
Yep, I solved the puzzle. I did it, you guys. We're nearly there. Why are you walking over there?
Let's go.
Half an hour in or something and we
As expected, no one here.
jump down a balcony.
My parents are in the throne room ruling the lands. Or rather, Mother is.
So where's your dad? He's just kinda lazing around somewhere or something. Go to the library. Let's first look at stuff out here.
A fairly small, unattractive tree.
Huh. I'd like to see how attractive you'd look if someone disturbed you on the pot in the morning.
You mean...
Anyway, what can I do for you, my little beauty?
The garden always looks fantastic, Arthur.
Thank you. It's a girt load of work. People always think elf gardens are fabulous by their very nature. But you need a mighty good gardener.
You have got green fingers.
Oh, brown.
Ah, that's just moss, my dear. Happens if you spend all day grubbing around in the earth and don't wash your hands properly in the evenings.
Great.
You tree shepherds do a great job.
Tree shepherds? The trees just stand there. Why do they need a shepherd? However, I quite fancy one of those shepherd dogs. Hey, Rex, do you want to be my shepherd dog? Nah, my darling. I'm a gardener. Nothing more, nothing less.
The dialogue in this is so good. It's very snappy. At least much more snappy so far than I remember the first game being.
Mother put me on a diet this morning so that I'll look perfect for my wedding.
Oh, everything has to be perfect for her. No such thing in nature, of course. Or rather, everything is perfect if you just let nature run its course.
You tell that to Mother.
I have, many times. She'd be very clever in some things, but very daft concerning that.
Now then, she is the queen.
I'm old enough to be able to call a spade a spade. Spade, gardener, get it?
Yeah, got it.
What are you up to today then? Got much on?
Oh, the usual. You know, it never rains in the Elfborough, but the flowers need their water, so I water them every day.
Ah, the curse of good weather.
The weather isn't the only thing which isn't right. I've been here 30 years, and for 30 years we've had autumn.
Time passes differently in the Elfborough. Slower.
Well, that's why everyone grows to be ancient here, obviously. But if we had a bit of normal weather and the usual seasons, oh, there'd be a lot more variety here.
You and Father, you get along well, don't you?
Ah, no one understands more about nature than him, that's for sure. But I don't often ask him for help. Thinking has never got a field dug, if you get my drift.
He's just more of a theorist.
Ah, the mud on your feet, the smell of fresh earth, all that joy and life. And he's missing out on the lot by just sitting around up there and doing nubbit.
I have to get on.
Yup, got a bit to do myself. I just don't know what's wrong with that plant over there.
Well, let's go see. Maybe we can help. Oh, she automatically walks over. That's cool.
Your mother got a whole heap of flowers given to her the other day from a fairy delegation. All of them took good and strong, just not that one.
Perhaps it needs a special type of soil or something.
Well, anything's possible. If I don't think of something soon, I'll have to ask your father. He can have a little chat with her and she might tell him what's up.
If you're going in, it'd be nice if you didn't tell my mother that you saw me out here.
Oh, you playing hooky again? My lips are sealed.
He's a really cool guy, Arbor.
It doesn't look very well at all. It's unusual for flowers to hang their heads in this garden. Normally they blossom in our good earth, not to mention the power of Arbor's green fingers. If Arbor doesn't know what's wrong with the plant, then it's serious. As long as this plant isn't doing well, Arbor won't rest. Not knowing what's wrong with it will eat away at him. If Arbor doesn't know what's wrong, as long as this plant...
Okay, so that's all of that. There's a bench.
A lovely spot, so long as the bees who have built their hive directly above the bench don't disturb you. I don't have any time to rest, and that's good. At last I've got something to do again.
So you want Arbor to take a rest there, apparently.
Mother thought it was unseemly of the bees to build their hive in our garden. I don't think she could get used to the thought that she would no longer be the only queen here. I convinced Mother not to have the hive removed, and she reluctantly agreed. However, should she be stung, then the hive's days are numbered. The bees are buzzing around the hive quite merrily. Anyone messing with them will know about it fast. I convinced Mother not, however...
And I can imagine she would get rid of it in minutes.
This is Mother's mirror. It's said that you can see into the furthest corners of the land and know what's happening in every part of the world. At the moment, it's no more than a shallow bowl. The water's missing.
How do you... Okay.
Mother pours water from various jugs into this bowl to cast a spell over the mirror. She did this almost daily in times gone by to ask the mirror who was the fairest elf in all the lands. Ever since the mirror started to hesitate with the answer a few months ago, she hasn't been using it quite so much. This is Mother's mirror. It's said that you can see... At the moment, it's no more than a...
Yeah, okay. The bush.
I don't know the names of all the plants in the garden. Grandmother knows them all, which is probably down to the fact that it was her that gave many of the plants their names a few thousand years ago. Shite beerwood, sweat tea, dodder flower, fat hen, bistort, stink root. We no longer invite her to family gatherings.
Bistort? I don't even know what that is. But it sounds like it would be bad.
No idea what kind of bush this is, but its red fruit looks very yummy. If I learnt one thing in the woods, it's that you shouldn't eat anything you don't know, regardless of how yummy it looks.
It's probably wise.
No idea what kind of bush... If I...
Okay. So we can pick up the stone, probably?
A handy smooth stone. Arbor's sheepdog.
Gert, I think he jokingly called it.
Arbor's pot, literally. The earth looks dark and rich with worms squirming around in it. Presumably it's the best earth in the garden. The earth looks dark. The earth
Okay.
looks...
Bird bath.
There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Cheep Cheep always says that it evaporates quickly. I, however, think that the constant need to replenish the water is more down to his unbridled joyous splashing and not insignificant body mass.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Cheep Cheep always says that it evaporates quickly.
So I think this is...
I, however, think that the constant need to replenish the...